let's talk about the payoff phase of glycolysis. So the payoff phase, that is the energy generation phase of the glycolysis, starts with glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, this is the structure of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Actually, there are two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate now. Okay, so keep that in mind. Whatever the conversion we are doing with respect to two molecules, and at the end we will get 2-pyruvate. Now this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, and this is the structure of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, bisphospho means there are two phosphate groups and they are not linked to each other. That is the reason why they are known as bisphospho, not diphospho. So yeah, this is the reaction, and this reaction, during this reaction, 2NAD plus 2Pi gets converted into 2NADH plus 2H plus, and this reaction is catalyzed by glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, and the free energy which is generated here, actually it is consumed, it is plus 12.6 now. So the free energy is plus 12.6 kilojoule per mole. Now in the next reaction, this 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, and in the reaction, as you can see, there is removal of one phosphate, and that high energy, that phosphate is used to generate 2 ATP. 2 ADP, 2 ADP are converted into 2 ATP. Okay, in this reaction. Now why 2 ADP? Because remember, there are two bisphosphoglycerate here. I haven't written 2 deliberately because it will then 2, 1, 3 and it will confuse. So yeah, so there are two molecules, and that is the reason why in this step 2 ATP molecules are generated, and this step is catalyzed by phosphoglycerate kinase. And whenever there is kinase, now there is this addition of phosphate or removal of phosphate from one group to another. That's how the reaction takes place whenever the kinase enzyme is there. And the energy liberated here is minus 37.6 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so in this process, the most important thing is that 2 ATPs are being produced. Now in this step, there is generation of 2 ATP molecules. Now there is phosphorylation of this ADP into ATP. Therefore, we say that in this step, the substrate level phosphorylation is taking place. Okay, when 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is getting converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, in that step, substrate level phosphorylation is taking place. So in the next step, the 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. Okay, and that is how the structure is changing. Okay, this is your 2-phosphoglycerate. Now this reaction is catalyzed by enolase enzyme, and in this reaction there is removal of one water molecule, but actually two water molecule, because again there is 3-phosphoglycerate here. Okay, 2,3-phosphoglycerate. So yeah, the 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate, and then this 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, and the conversion of 2-phosphoglycerate into phosphoenol pyruvate is catalyzed by this enzyme enolase, and it requires Mg2 plus and Mn2 plus. Okay, and the free energy change for the standard free energy change for this reaction to occur is plus 3.4 kilojoule per mole, and after that the phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvate, and this is not a reversible reaction, this is a irreversible reaction. Okay, an irreversible reaction, whereas the conversion of 3-phosphoglycerate into 2-phosphoglycerate and the conversion of 2-phosphoglycerate into phosphoenol pyruvate, both of this reaction were a reversible reaction. Now in this conversion, ATP ADP molecule is getting converted into ATP. Okay, there is formation. As you can see, there is a loss of this phosphate, okay, in this conversion, and this high energy phosphate is accepted by the ADP and ATP formation is there, and that is the reason why in this step we say that substrate level phosphorylation is taking place. So yeah, that was the last step of the glycolysis, in which there is substrate level phosphorylation, and at last we get 2-pyruvate from one glucose molecule. Now in step 6, 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are oxidized. Now this enzyme, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, catalyzes the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Now this conversion, okay, this reaction is occurring in 2 steps. Now in the first step, there is oxidation of aldehyde into carboxylic acid, okay, and the oxidation of aldehyde into carboxylic acid is done by NAD+. Okay, NAD+ is acting your oxidizing agent and causing your oxidation of aldehyde, and because of the oxidation of aldehyde, carboxylic acid is produced. Now in the second step, there is joining of the carboxylic group to the orthophosphate, and this, when these two things join, acyl phosphate product is produced. Okay, so in first step there is oxidation of aldehyde, carboxylic acid is produced, and then that carboxylic acid is joined with orthophosphate, which produces acyl phosphate product. Now this iodoacetate is a potent inhibitor of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Okay, if in the system iodoacetate is present, then glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will not be converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, if the iodoacetate is present in the system, this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will not be oxidized. Now in the 7th step, the high energy phosphate group is transferred from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to ADP. Now because of this, there is formation of ATP, and this is referred to as substrate level phosphorylation. Okay, when the high energy phosphate group is transferred from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to ADP, there is formation of ATP, because if that is ADP gets converted into ATP, and this is known as substrate level phosphorylation. Now this reaction, okay, this ATP formation is known as substrate level phosphorylation because this 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, which is acting as the phosphate donor, is a substrate with high phosphoryl transfer potential. Okay, so whenever a substrate is acting as a phosphate donor and then your ATP is produced, that is known as substrate level phosphorylation. And why this 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is able to act as a phosphate donor? Well, it has high phosphoryl transfer potential, that's why. Now this reaction, that is the transfer of high energy phosphate group from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to ADP, this reaction is catalyzed by this enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay, so step 7 is catalyzed by phosphoglycerate kinase of glycolysis. Now in step 8, what is happening is that the remaining phosphate ester linkage of the 3-phosphoglycerate, which has relatively low free energy of hydrolysis, that phosphate ester linkage is moved from carbon 3 to carbon 2, and because of this the 2-phosphoglycerate is produced. Okay, So the 3-phosphoglycerate it is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate in step 8 by moving the phosphate ester linkage from carbon 3 to carbon 2. And remember that this phosphate ester linkage has low free energy comparatively. Now from this 2-phosphoglycerate, a water molecule is removed in step 9, and because of the removal of water molecule from 2-phosphoglycerate, a high energy enol phosphate linkage is produced. Okay, there is removal of water molecule from the 2-phosphoglycerate. This results in the formation of high energy enol phosphate linkage. So as you can see that the phosphate ester linkage that was moved, okay, from carbon 3 to carbon 2, that phosphate ester linkage had low free energy. But once you remove water molecule from this 2-phosphoglycerate, then you produce a high energy enol phosphate linkage. Now the enzyme which catalyzes this reaction, okay, that is removal of water molecule from 2-phosphoglycerate to produce a high energy enol phosphate linkage, this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme enolase, and this enolase enzyme is inhibited by fluoride. Okay, if in the system fluoride is present, then the water molecule from the 2-phosphoglycerate will not be removed and high energy enol phosphate linkage will not be formed. Now in step 10, there is transfer of this high energy phosphate bond to the ADP, and this transfer results in the formation of ATP. Okay, so the high energy bond which was produced when the water molecule was removed from 2-phosphoglycerate is now transferred to the ADP, and ADP accepts that high energy phosphate bond and gets converted into ATP. Now this step is the last step of the glycolysis and it is irreversible step. Now in step 10 there is transfer of phosphoryl group from phosphoenol pyruvate to ADP, and this reaction is catalyzed by pyruvate kinase. Okay, so when you are removing water molecule from the 2-phosphoglycerate, then phosphoenol pyruvate is produced, and then from this phosphoenol pyruvate there is transfer of this phosphoryl group to the ADP, and this step is catalyzed by this enzyme pyruvate kinase. Now this pyruvate kinase either requires K plus or Mg2 plus for its activity. So glucose plus 2NAD plus 2ADP plus 2H2PO4 giving 2 pyruvate plus 2NADPH plus 2ATP plus 2H2O. This is 2NADH. Okay, so 2 pyruvate plus 2 NADH plus 2 ATP. So 2 pyruvate plus 2 NADH plus 2 ATP plus 2 H2O. This reaction is net reaction of the glycolysis.